Hello YouTube, this is Talden of Tal's Minecraft, and today I am not doing Minecraft for YouTube. I am doing a requested how-to video from my Twitch TV stream, krejiliar, or krejiliar, however you pronounce his name. I'm sure I'm getting it wrong. Asked me to please show how I stream from Linux. I'm using Kubuntu Linux to do all my work, so I know there is seems to be a kind of a gap in the community. There is no XSplit for Linux, and there are a couple of applications, JTVLC. I think there is a camera, webcam program that you can try and stream. What I have found one that worked for me is um, FFmpeg, which is a command line utility, and it's not specifically for streaming. It is for processing video files, and you can also process audio files with it, I suppose. But what you want to do is you actually want to build a function in your bash RC, and this is specifically, guys, for Linux. You can use FFmpeg for Windows, but I would suggest if you're using Windows to use something like XSplit, and there are many other available options for Windows. This is just what works for me for Linux. So, Linux heads, what you want to do is you want to build a function in your bash RC, and if you don't know how to build a function, that's okay. I'm going to show you how to do that. And you'll notice this is all at the command line. That's how it works. You want to start off in your bash RC, which is basically your run control file for your command line environment. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's a little bit outside the scope of this video. But you set up your function, streaming, open parentheses, close parentheses. Okay, that tells your command line, your shell, that this is going to be a function. Basically, it's a command that you can type in and it will do something. You have an open open curly brace, and then here we have some variables: inres, outres, FPS, and qual. Okay, inres is your input resolution. That's the size of the screen, the area there that you're capturing. Outres is the output resolution. FPS is the target frames per second. Okay. Qual is a FFmpeg preset. It is found in user share FFmpeg if you're on Ubuntu. I'm not sure where it's found at on Red Hat or SUSE or Puppy or any of the other distributions, but it will be in there if you have FFmpeg. Now, if you have low bandwidth, put the quality preset on fast, leave it alone. Okay, and that's your upload bandwidth. If you have lower than a meg bandwidth, put it on fast and leave it alone. If you have a medium bandwidth, you can put it on either normal or medium. If you have a higher upload bandwidth, you can use medium or max, but generally medium is good enough quality that you'll be fine. Okay, so you have your stream key. Excuse me. You have your stream key variable here, which obviously this is not my stream key. This is what you get from JTV. It's found at www.justin.tv/broadcast/adv_other. Okay, and that will. I'm actually going to set a file in the description of this video that you can download, and it will have all of this stuff in there along with explanations of what everything is. Okay, now first we have our command here, FFmpeg. Okay, that's excuse me, that's all that does is calls the FFmpeg from the command line environment. The next section of the command is -fx11 grab. That forces FFmpeg to grab the X11 display, which is your display, your desktop. Okay. Dash S in res, and you notice it is surrounded by quotation marks. You do need the quotation marks. Sets the frame size of the grab to whatever your input resolution is. Your input resolution has to be width times height. Okay. In res is this variable up here. Okay. Dash R FPS. This sets the rate to your frames per second. This is your target. Now, here's an important thing to remember. It's okay if you don't hit that target. Okay, in fact, if you set it at 35 like I've got it, you probably never will hit the target of 35 frames per second. But you don't want to go higher than 30 or 35 because it will stress your processor out. Uh, since you're not going to hit 35, just put it at 30, 35, you're fine. I usually get anywhere from 20 to 25 frames per second, and that's fine. That's perfectly okay. Okay. Now, dash I colon 0.0 plus 0 comma 0. I know this looks confusing. What this does, dash I usually refers to the input file name. Since we're grabbing the display, the colon 0.0 plus 0 comma 0, all that does is it tells FFmpeg the coordinates of the screen to grab and how much of the area of the screen to grab. This particular setting, 0.0 plus 0 comma 0, tells it to grab the entire display. Okay, if you're running a dual display setup, it will only grab the input resolution area. Okay, so if you have both screens set up in that input resolution, then it will grab both screens. If you only have one, then it will grab that one screen. Okay. Now, dash ITS offset. This is an offset, an input time offset in seconds, and it follows the hour, minute, second format. This only applies to any input files that come after it. Now keep in mind, this is not necessary. It only attempts to correct here, in this case, for a lag between the audio and the video, because as you'll see later on, we are outputting in the MP3 audio format, and since it's a smaller compression, it usually streams out slightly before the video stream comes out. Okay, this is to help to attempt to correct for that. It is not necessary. You do not have to put it in your streaming function. It will work just fine. Okay. Dash F ALSA. This forces the ALSA audio format. Okay. Dash AC2 tells it to set the audio channels to stereo, basically two audio channels. The default is one audio channel. It will be mono if you leave it as default or if you don't put dash AC2. My suggestion is to probably put dash AC2, but again, that's up to you. Dash I pulse. This tells it we're going to capture from the pulse server. If you're not using pulse, you need to put dash I whatever your sound server you're using. Okay. Most newer distributions, I know Kubuntu and Ubuntu, use Pulse Audio for their sound server. So if you're on, I think it's post 1004. I think 1004 is when they started using Pulse. I can't remember. You'll have to do a little bit of digging into your distribution if you don't know what sound server you use. But if you have one of the newer distributions, 1104, 1110, any of the 12 pre-releases, you will most likely be using Pulse unless you told it not to. Okay. /V codec sets the video codec to libx264. Excuse me. Now, libx264 is a special codec. It is an open source codec, and I have found it has been one of the best codecs to try and use to capture your audio, your video in, because it wins against MPEG and or excuse me, MPEG 4, and there's some other codecs. It wins against those in compression rates and quality. Um, if you have low bandwidth, you really want a good compression rate that gives you maximum compression and maximum quality at the same time. Leave this at libx264. You may not have libx264 installed in your system by default. I cannot, to be honest with you, I cannot remember if I had to install that separately or not. If it's not, you should be able to find it in the app repositories or through your package management system. Okay, if you're not, then you can always go out to the website and download that whatever package for whichever distribution you use. Um, but you have to have that installed before FFmpeg can read that codec. VPRE qual. Okay, now some versions of FFmpeg use the VPRE, some do not. If you have if you have a version of FFmpeg that uses VPRE, this sets the quality presets. Okay, there are many different quality presets that, to be honest with you, you don't want to have to dig into and set each thing individually. You use a quality preset, and FFmpeg just automatically knows to use this for this for that, and this for the other, and it will help take some of the headache out of configuring everything for you. Um, the variable, again, if you have a low bandwidth, put the quality on fast and leave it alone. Okay, you will get some pixelation. There will be some uh, trade-off there. If you can run it on normal, if you have low band, or if you try to run it on normal and you have low bandwidth, then you will most likely get stream lag. It will cut out at times, and um, it will it will cause issues for the viewers. Okay. The next portion of the command is -s outres. That simply sets the output size uh, to the outres variable. I personally have played with this where I've set the outres as a smaller resolution. I would never suggest trying to go bigger resolution, but I've tried to set it as a smaller resolution to try and get um, less lag whenever I had lower bandwidth. However, I've found that it can cause some pixelization, some bad pixelization. Your best bet is to use your outres as the same size as your inres, because Justin TV is going to change the resolution anyways whenever they process it on their end. Okay, -A codec libmp3 lame tells it to we're going to force FFmpeg to compress the audio into an MP3 stream. As far as I'm aware, I don't think Justin TV can process an OGG or a FLAC. I think it would actually have to be OGG in that case. An OGG stream. I haven't tried it. I've just left it as MP3 lane. So you feel free to play with that. However, you know, buyer beware. If you change it and your viewers are not able to get any audio, not able to hear the audio, or is garbled, then you'll want to switch back to libmp3 lane. Again, you have to have libmp3 lane installed in your distro to be able to use that codec. So I know Ubuntu, I don't think it comes with that installed already, so you'll probably have to install that manually out of the repositories. Okay, -AB96K sets the audio bitrate outstream. Okay, not the in-stream, but the outstream. I know there are a lot of audio files out there, and you want the best audio possible. However, um, most human ears cannot hear better than 96K anyways. Okay, this little bit of a change from the default, I think the default is like 4100 or 2400, something like that. This little bit of a change from the default will I'm not going to say it will make a drastic improvement, but it will make enough of an improvement in how your bandwidth is used, because it will allow you to use more bandwidth for video quality than audio quality. If they wanted a music CD or an MP3, let them download an MP3. For this case, they can hear you. It's clear enough. It's not garbled. You'll be fine. Okay. Leave it at 96K. You could probably even go lower, but I would probably leave it at 96K. Dash threads 6. This is the thread count. This should never go higher than the number of processing cores you have available. Okay, I've got a 6-core processor, therefore I've got 6 threads. If you've got a single core processor, use 1 thread. Don't even worry about threads. If you've got a dual core, put dash threads 2. It's that simple. Q scale 5 has to do with the compression of the overall thread, the quantization of the scale. Just quantum physics aside, leave it at 5. You're good to go. Okay, dash B, 1024 KB. That is your bit rate for your output video. Okay, for the actual stream. I'm using a 1 meg bit rate here because I've got 4 megs of upload. I would play with this if you have lower quality internet, or if you have low bandwidth, or bandwidth cap, or whatever. If whatever reason, you're going to want to play with this number. Okay, this will help your video quality out greatly. Okay, um, it's one of those things. This is what works for me. It's not going to work for you. Okay, because you don't have an identical setup as I do. You have to work with the bitrate quality. Okay, or the bitrate value. Dash F FLV simply sets it in the flash video format that Justin TV, Twitch TV can recognize, and then the RTMP live.justin.tv app stream key. That is the RTMP protocol. That's your output file, okay, and it's outputting it to that address with your stream key variable, which Justin TV will then pick up and process and do its thing, and you'll be broadcasting. Now, to for all this to work, you put this information in your bash RC file, change your variables to whatever fits your needs, and then whenever you're ready to stream, all you have to do is bring up a command prompt and type streaming and hit enter. It will do everything it's supposed to do. If it errors out, grab the copy of that error, go over to Google and Google that error, because that will FFmpeg is usually pretty good about telling you what went wrong. Even if you don't understand the error, it will be out there where you can find it. Okay, I know it looks complex, but once you have it set, it is just that simple. You can play with it here and there to try and tweak your audio and your video quality, especially like I did whenever I got new internet. I tweaked my video bitrate up to 1024. The stream is solid. You don't have to worry about quality. So once you get everything set up and tweaked, generally you can leave it alone unless you have, for some reason, fluctuations in your bandwidth. If you have other people streaming or other people streaming video in, that can cause fluctuations, and you may have to play with quality presets or even your bitrate settings. But this is setting it up in this format so that it's in a function, keeps you from having to type all this stuff in every time you want to stream. This is the easiest, most simple way to do it. I don't even really have to click on an icon to start the stream, because I always have a command line open. So I suggest that if you're not comfortable with the command line, let this be, and you want to cast to JTV or Twitch, let this be one of your first forays into the command line, and let this help you understand that it is a good place to be, because once everything is out there and put in, it is to your specifications. It works for you, not some factory presets. So I think that pretty much covers it. If anybody has any questions, please put them in the comments section below. I already have this file on Google Docs, and I'm gonna put a link in the description below for you guys to download it who are interested in it. If you have any questions, please, 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 please feel free to send me a message or comment down in the section. If you like what you saw, remember to subscribe and like, and come on over to Twitch TV and hang out and watch me stream, because I'm going to fire up some Minecraft here in a little bit, and we're going to have some fun. So, you guys have a blessed day. Be good to each other, and we will see you guys later.